day compared to the last season of Game of Thrones. Look, can I talk about this last season of Game of Thrones? I think enough time passed and everyone knows it was crap. Why did they do that? Why was it... Okay, spoilers for Game of Thrones for anyone who even cares about the last season. Like... Okay, so... Daenerys... No, let's start before that. The Night King. They spent so long building up the Night King. Like, so long. It was all... He was the first villain. You know, throughout the entire backstory, what made it, like, really good as well, it's like, why you know all this this great political stuff's going on, this civil war, all these houses fighting for all this stuff. You know in the background that there's something much bigger than everyone else. Like, just no matter what's happening here, there's this massive thing going on, and they don't even know it, but you know it, and, like, Jon Snow knows it. And it's like, it's really good. It's like a background. What do? They get the Night King, he goes over the wall, he goes and attacks the first place he attacks properly. And he dies. I don't get me started about the tactics of that battle, because that was crap. Like, I could do better. Oh yes, let's see, we're fighting a horde of zombies, essentially. Massive horde of zombies. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll send in the light cavalry first in a direct charge. Great idea. Oh wait, we lost everybody. Crap, we could have seen that coming. Also in the dark. Because, sure, why not? Let's just send all of our light cavalry in the dark, in a direct charge against zombies. That can only be killed by fire and obsidian, but they already had all that, so that's fine. So yeah, they lost all the Dothraki, except not, they didn't lose all the Dothraki. Then, it's just so bad. Then they had the artillery pieces out in front of them, which they managed to use a little bit, but then it got destroyed. All the spearmen they had arrayed in front of the fortress, they got killed. So at the end of the day, they had like a few hundred people guarding the fortress, when in reality they should have had over 1,000 people at minimum guarding the fortress, and they should have spread out their forces elsewhere. If they couldn't fit them all inside the fortress, they would have them elsewhere, so they're not in front of the massive horde that's supposed to break on the walls. Also, why was there only one trench? There was one trench. They made one trench and it was like, that's it, we're good. No! If you had thousands of people and you, in advance, you make tons of trenches with tons of spears and stuff that would still slow them down, so you can burn them with fire and, you know, arrows, and like you can... Why would you only make one and like right in front of the keep? You're so lazy. You should have made massive entrenched works. Like they're just gonna march forward most of the time. You could have trapped them and done so much, but you didn't. Why? So that's Game of Thrones. It's just really bad. I'm sorry. Should I go to sleep now? I'll just sit and read the book, because I don't want to sleep yet, because I'll wake up in like 2 o'clock in the morning. Let's read the book for a bit. Where am I? It's the mechanics book, right? Yeah. Right, what is it? Outside of that, yeah. Like, okay, so, yeah, they break through, they jump over the wall, and, yeah, they kill, like, tons of people. The dragon doesn't somehow, even though the dragon can melt through stone and, like, essentially, they show it later, dragons can explode freaking walls with fire, like they're burning with TNT, or something. He can't kill Jon because he's hit by a rock, or something like that. And like Bran, oh, don't get me started on Bran. Bran does nothing. Oh my god, does Bran do nothing in Game of Thrones? I just need to speed this up. But Bran does nothing in Game of Thrones. Like, he was pointless. What does he actually do? Seriously, what does he do except enable the Night King to invade? The story would have been better served if he didn't exist, because he doesn't do anything. He walks into some crows, and that's his story. That's all he does. He watches. Anyway, go to sleep. Yeah, and then Arya kills the Night King. why would they ever do that? That's how do I even summarize that? So, like, it's no, I don't want to make it that it's not that bad, I suppose. No, I'm not. I'm just thinking of comparisons. Thinking this is the right comparison. No, it's not that bad of. I guess it wasn't that bad because she was at least a main character in some story. But how can I put this? Anyway, while I'm doing this, oh god, it's foggy. Great. Well, let's go check on the mice trap. So imagine if in Lord of the Rings, it was instead of Frodo carries the ring all the way to Mordor, and all of that stuff happens, and instead of him / Gollum or even Sam, thrown into there, it's I don't know, Arwen that throws the ring into the into the fires of Mount Doom. You would think that that's kind of undeserved because not only was she not involved in the story, but somehow she's turned up at the last second. Let's say she turned up like somehow in Mordor. She just flew there on an eagle and says, "I will help you," and she's the one that destroys the ring. You would feel that's completely unearned because Frodo's done all of this and he wasn't even remotely involved. He was off to the side, like having a slap fight with Gollum, while Arwen saved the day. That would be such a disappointing climax. That's essentially what they did in Game of Thrones. But hey, it couldn't be bad as the 100... hold on. Let me check the map. I don't want to get lost. Okay, I'm getting lost down here. Okay. Hey, it couldn't be as bad as the 100, where in Season 5 and 6, they make the show where the cast gets cryogenically frozen and it goes on to kill a celestial being, where the celestial being is way more intelligent, who's way more intelligent, just lets it happen. TV these days are disappointing. I can't even speak English. I'm disappointed. Some of the shows, they're just really bad. What happened to writing? Speaking of celestial... I've gone past it again. Speaking of celestial beings, did anyone see the Eternals? Okay, I guess new spoiler alert. If you have not seen the Eternals and you wish to see the Eternals, stop watching now. Oh, yes, mice. Okay, I've got them. Let's see what I got. I got one mouse. And I got 2 mice. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to cook this. Let's... Oh. No, I got fresh tomatoes. What can I not bait it again? Remove trap. Why can't I add the bait? Oh, because it's not in the... It's probably this. There we go. Okay. Great. So, I guess we do have a semi-steady source of protein. Right, we'll go back and we'll cook the 3 mice that we have. And just go from there. As much as I love The Lord of the Rings, the pacing in some of the movies is just so off. Like during the Great Rohirrim Charge, the movie just cuts to Gollum climbing the surface of the rock with Frodo and Sam. It happens twice. Yeah, I suppose. I love The Lord of the Rings anyway. Some of the stuff, I suppose... I'm not going to justify how they filmed it, because it's the way they filmed it. And I never really minded, so... You get, injections of epicness, you go back to the main story, and you get more injections of epicness. You just keep going back and forth. I mean, to be fair, I always didn't like Frodo and Sam's story because it was the most boring. It's like, cut back to the action with Aragorn, Gandalf, and Gimli already. But yeah. Right. let's cook. So, let's make... What can I make? I can make a stew? Or should I make a roast? I need to use some of these fins that are going stale. Yeah, okay, let's butcher the animals first. Get my hunting knife out. Ooh, cooking level 2. Nice. Right, we got some meat. We got some potatoes. Not well, we've got some potatoes. We got some tomatoes as well. All my potatoes are going stale. Yeah, let's just make a stir fry or something. Right, add... I guess I'll add all the rodent meat. We'll just have one big meal. Or should I do... Should I do 2? I guess I can do 2. We'll have this one filled with it. Then I can put in some potatoes. A carrot that's also stale. A tomato, which is fresh. And another stale potato. Okay, how am I doing for fuel on this? Did I actually put anything in? I did not. Great. Well, that's fine. I think I've got some extra logs back here. Yeah. Let's put a log in there. Add fuel, 1 log. Okay, light fire, use the plastic bag? Sure, why not? I didn't realize plastic was flammable, but I guess it is. Right. Took that. Put this mechanics book back before I end up burning it for fuel. Right. Next, let's make a roast. Good old roast. I haven't done much this session. I've survived another few days, which is something. I just keep coming back like progress reports at this point. I'm not able to do anything until I get my hunger up and I figure out how to get some stuff. Stale potato. Got just the tiniest bit of meat in there, but it's something at least. I can keep gathering meat. In exchange for a tomato, which I can make plenty of, I can get 1 mouse. Which I will take. Okay, let's put that in there. Okay, so I'll sit down. Keep an eye on that. Right. And all those scenes show Frodo being an idiot, becoming more and more distrustful of Sam. Yeah. I don't know how you can travel halfway across the world and then suddenly... Sam, how can you possibly think this creature that's tried to kill me several times now wants to betray me? Why would you think... Get out of here, Sam! Walk home! Yeah, that's dumb. You know, the one and only guy who voluntarily gave up the ring. Ah, that's not true. Bilbo gave up the ring. He, after 50 years of having the ring, he dropped it on the ground and walked out the door. What a guy. Why was Frodo the ring carrier again? Why didn't they just use the eagles to carry him all the way to Mount Doom? The last battle clearly shows they can fly that far. Yeah, I mean, I've heard excuses, you know, like, oh, they have those, like, fell beasts or whatever that would just knock out the eagles, but the eagles stomp those guys anyway. I just don't think about it. I've actually been going through the Lord of the Rings books. I've been listening to the audiobook as well. And that there was a lot more detail in there. So much more detail. As you would expect. Including the fact that Frodo actually does things. And, you know, he fights. He's like sort of a leader. He tries to be... Well, it's much better than Frodo. But now, to be fair, I've probably listened to the length of most of the films put together in the audiobook, and they're still just at the House of Elrond in Rivendell. So there's a lot more that you can do. They had to rush a lot of the stuff which wasn't important, or not necessarily, like the whole Tom Bombadil thing, the Barrow White, sort of the entire extended scene in the Prancing Pony, all sorts of stuff that they've just sort of cut. I didn't even know there was a character called Fatty Bomber or whatever until... Hopefully I got that name. His name is like Fatty. What a terrible name for a child. How could you do that to them? But, yeah. I didn't know half these characters existed until I read the book. Good book, though. I recommend this book that's one of the most famous fantasy novels of all time. I'm sure my recommendation carries a lot of weight to all of you. Right, in any case, we're not... those mice did not do anything for me. What can I do? How many tomatoes do I have? I think I've got loads, right? Tons of tomatoes. I've also got wine. Oh, I did have some strawberries at some point. I don't have it anymore. Oh god, that one snuck up on me. I'm trying to suppress hiccups. They're just there for some reason. Right. Let's make some salads out of the stale stuff we have. If you make it into a salad, it's fresh. It's really weird how it works. But if you put stale stuff into a bowl, suddenly it's not stale anymore. Did you try holding your breath for 30 seconds? Yeah, well, if I do that, I won't be very good for commentating. How am I supposed to rant against the terrible films and stuff of this world if I'm holding my breath for 30 seconds? That's all I've done so far. I have to compensate for me not doing anything interesting on screen by just talking about how much I hate stuff. Alright, let's take some more spears. Was there any more branches and stuff I could use? I think I turned them all into spears before. I could use the log, but I don't want to use the log. How many spears does that make? Not many. Can I repair this? What do I have for repairs? I got a crowbar which is nearly broken there. I don't want to take it with me. I got rotten berries. Got the butter knife in. Stones, twigs. What do I have that can fix things? Got some duct tape? Wait, what's that crowbar? Why do I have like a really mint-conditioned crowbar? Okay, never mind. I guess I got a super-duper awesome extra crowbar. I didn't even realize. I thought I already had them all. Okay, never mind. Let's put that all in here. Oh yeah, the map of Louisville. And does this reveal anything else? That reveals barely anything. Okay. Put that in there. I guess that'll do. Can I sleep? No, I can't sleep yet. What can I do? I mean, we could always go back to the dead air times where we used to cut only for the AI to to spite you and build bases everywhere like they did in that Dawn of War episode. Yeah. I mean, it's really different from streaming to recording, because what I would probably do, I would usually record for a lot longer, depending. So I mean, sometimes it would be just 30 minutes or something. I remember later on I did used to do like 30 minutes to an hour of just recording, and I would just do 15-minute episodes and I'll just be done. With streaming, I do 2 hours straight, but then you get parts like this. If I was doing standalones, just recording, I would have cut out a lot of this. You wouldn't have had the rant about Game of Thrones, or the rant about, whatever else I was ranting about. You would have just had cut, and it's like, yes, I'm at the village, and we're gonna go hunt some more zombies. I'm still holding a watering can. Why am I still holding a goddamn watering can? Basically, you would have missed out on gold. Pure gold. And a hand fork. I don't need that. Alright, all I need is my crafted spear. And to sit and wait. Oh, you know what I should do? I should clean myself up. I am completely filthy. See me, hopefully. I've got so many layers under me, but yeah, you can see that's slowly getting better. I still miss the future me cuts mid-episode. There will be Let's Plays. I don't know, it's just this one I wanted to do streaming, because I was doing streaming for ages. I will do Let's Plays where I don't stream it, just because it's more convenient not to. Then I can cut back and come back when there's stuff going on and I don't feel like an idiot just streaming nothing. Anyway, let's not worry about our weight for now. I'm only half dead, I guess. Right, 6 a.m. Let's try and get to the village. I got sprinting level 3. So, I'll sprint some of the way so I can save more of the daytime. Because even though I've got a safe house up there, it's not the safest of safe houses. Like, at all. It's really not that good. I didn't even clear out the area. Not that you even can clear out the area. Not properly, anyway. You're not streaming nothing. We're talking about how bad movies and TV writing is. Indeed. I go back to my rant about Game of Thrones. So yeah, in Game of Thrones, what happened? Oh yes, they knocked out, so was it episode 4, they say half is gone. So they lose everybody. There's like literally 5 dudes left, and somehow there's half the army. Where was you? Where was half the army when like the entire keep was down? Your queen was on the ground like dying with Jorah the Explorer. Like, where the hell was half the army? What was you doing? But outside of that, they say half is gone, you know, the Golden Company, the reinforced King's Landing, all that stuff. By the way, it was a terrible idea to make Cersei the final boss of Game of Thrones. Why would you make Cersei? She's like, she lost most of her power a while ago. Now she's just a tyrant. Also, you know what? I liked season 6. For the most part, I liked season 6. It had a lot of big moments. And it was fun enough. But they killed a lot of the cast, and then there wasn't really much left to do. It sort of made it, I guess it made it easier to write, because you didn't have, like, 20 other characters to worry about, but they killed a lot of people who were, like, really good characters and really fun characters that you could do a lot with still. They killed them all. Just really quickly. Again, it was a great moment. But it's where you go from there. It's like you blow up your car, you're like, oh my god, this was an epic explosion. Now how do I get back? You know, it was kind of short-sighted. Anyway, we shall stop this for a moment. We are approaching the land of spears. Ah, my first victim. Our first catch of the day. Take a quick sip. Okay. Is that a police officer? You got a gun. Oh. Can your body armor stop a spear? Oh god. Next. Serpentine, serpentine. So actually, I've been playing Hearts of Iron lately. I've been playing as the Portuguese. And you know what? It's actually really fun. So I may do... Who knows? It could happen, it might not happen. I may do Portuguese play for one Hearts of Iron at some point. There's a few fun things you can do. So we shall see. Hearts of Iron was always sort of a favorite of people on the channel, so, you know, it might be fun to just see if I can do something with Portugal. Hearts of Iron is really fun. It is. I keep going in and out of it. Even after all this time, it's still really fun. Same with EU4. I never got into Crusader Kings free, though. I loved Crusader Kings 2. I did not get into Crusader Kings free like Crusader Kings 2. And I don't know why. It might have just been... It took me too long to get into it. And I didn't understand the mechanics as well as I could have. Or something like that. But I just enjoyed Crusader Kings 2 far more. You can tell that by my playtime. Now Crusader Kings 2 is free. I spent quite a bit of money on DLC and stuff for that, mostly on sales, but still, they made it free, like the base game, I think. But then you can do like the subscription as well. Paradox has far too much DLC. Some of it definitely not justified. Nope. Kill you, or at least move you out the way. Ugh. Some more zombies coming out the forest? No, okay, that's just the wind. I do feel like I run really fast now. I don't know if that's a fin or what, but I feel like that's true. Okay. I'm the same way. Shadow Retreat was a fin I hate about Crusader Kings 3. It just drags out Simple Wars so long. Yeah. It just doesn't hold the same magic. I don't know. It just doesn't feel right. Like, I love the way you can see your family grow up and all the court system. Yeah. All the court system and stuff. But, yeah, it's just... I don't know, it just doesn't hold the same magic. Now, I could do a Let's Play of Crusader Kings 2, but God knows that would be a billion-part Let's Play. And me slowly building up my family. Now, I did do that actual sort of scripted series. It was a weird series. It was the history of the Howitzer Dynasty. I did mean to do more of that, but it just... I cannot record... Especially back then, I could not read the lines I would write. Like, I would go through it, I would write all the stuff for it. I cannot read for crap. I would watch the hell out of that. Yeah. There's that save that I did for the history of the Howitzer Dynasty. Just off topic. The history of the Howitzer Dynasty. If any of you know that series, it was sort of a half scripted, half sort of Let's Play-ish playthrough of Crusader Kings 2. I did do 2 episodes, so I did 2 generations. It just... Like, I could not read it out, and I spent so much time in the end trying to get it all ready that my save became completely outdated by the end. So, I suppose it wouldn't be that much of a problem now. Oh, get back. Cannot take multiple people with a spear. It wouldn't be too much of a problem now since there's not updates and stuff coming out for it, so if I did do a series, it would not update and break my saves. Which seems to be a problem with some of the games I played at that point. God, I got a lot of use out of that. But I just don't think I'm up for it anymore. I have to be super into it. I remember Arumba CK2 series were good. Yes, I remember that. He was like... he was... I watched some of his videos. He was like such an expert at the game. It was crazy. He knew everything. Yeah, CK3 just doesn't hold the same magic. It's good. It's just, I don't know, there was something about CK2 that just hit it. Okay. Let's go to Old Reliable, shall we? Do not lag on me. Oh god, there's a lot of them. Well, one's crawling. Oh god, no, okay. That's... yeah. Let's go to the fence defense. If I can just split them off a bit. Okay, you got like a... I'm assuming a hunting knife inside you. Oh, lovely. Oh, hi. Great, there's tons of you. Freaking great. Right, let's see what I can do about this. Can I get one? Come on, you. Okay, that almost got me. I almost died there. Crap. Okay, that's far too many. That's far too many. Let's abandon. Let's abandon. Maybe if I get my spear, my last spear out, maybe I can do something. I might be able to thin out the numbers. I've got a revolver. Which I don't know how to use in the least. How are we doing? Still a few of you there.